どうも皆様、おはこんばんにちは、ヒーローでございます。誰も関係ない楽しむ武田をモットーに、ヴァンパイア、続きをやっていきたいと思います。前回ちょっと、XP 稼ぎがてらに、ホワイトチャペルの街をちょっと探索したというところで前回終わったかと思います。で、今回その続きなんですけども、一応江戸川のところへと戻る必要があるんですが、どうしよっかな。そうだな、そろそろね、ちょっと3000まで来たからそろそろね、鍛えてっていうかね、そろそろレベルアップしてやってもいいんじゃないのかなという気はするので、ちょっとじゃあ病院まで戻りますかね。待って待って、くそったれ。ちょっと待って、あれだな、教会の強い人来てんな。困るわ、それはちょっと嫌だから逃げよう。さらばお前たちと戦うつもりはない。来るか。ほらこっちです。これダメだ、また落ちたな。とりあえず病院のところまでは帰ってこれたね。長かった。じゃあちょっとレベルアップしよっか。いやちょっと待って、レベルアップの前にすげえカクつくな。気管支炎、肺炎、肺血症だもんな。誰か一人ねいたんだよ、病院にね。オズワルド・サッチャーさんがいるはずだから。いや頭痛薬だ、頭痛薬ねえわ。じゃあいいわ。ちょっと先にレベルアップしよう。疲れた。テレポート。どうしよっか。何をすべきなんだろうかね。黒。マジでどう強くしていけばいいのかわかんねえな。 ミストがあると便利かな。うわ、2000も使うわ。やば。1000、ちょっと1000は辛いな。本当にこれでよかったんだろうか。足らないよね。わかる。ちょっと待って。リセット。おお、ちょっと待って。待って、リセットなんてあんの？そしてリセットしてしまったがためにマジか。ちょっとやっちゃったやんけ。ああ、やっちゃった。なんかすごい分かりやすいぐらいのミスをしてしまったね、俺。レベル8。ちょっと待って。ブラッド。で、今、シャドウベイ、こっちだよな。ブラッドバリアをつけてたんだよな、俺。で、ね。で、君はレベル10必要。とりあえず危ね。またもう×ボタンが決定だからかついつい忘れちゃうわ。戦闘時にブラッドの吸収量増加。どうしようかな。吸収量も増加させとこいた方がいいか。300。一旦これでいっか。オッケー。ちょっと少し変えちゃったけども。無能な警察ホワイトチャペルを襲う。先頃ホワイトチャペルを取り巻いていた噂が事実へと成熟している。この3ヶ月間、警察はこの地域がロンドンの医療ブラックマーケットの心臓の役割を担っている疑惑を持っていた。だがもちろん、機動部隊や追加の捜査員がホワイトチャペルに送り込まれることはなく、これらの疑惑は証拠もない決めつけのままだろう。膨大なドラッグの在庫は発見されるし、犯罪の元締めも逮捕されなかった。この虚構は、疫病が猛威を振る中、民衆に手軽で安上がりな勝利を与えることによって、ロンドン市議会健康委員会の 無能さを隠す必死の試みに過ぎない。何より最悪なのは、直近の統計を見るとホワイトチャペル地区の、疫病状況は他の町の地区よりも随分いいことがわかるということである。これは奇跡だろうか。不法だが効果的な診療所の活動の証拠であろうか。法的機関が犯罪を抑制できていない証拠だろうか。私が知っているのはこれだけである。もしロンドンの人々が疫病から生き続けるよりいいチャンスをこの神から見捨てられる地区で掴むことができるなら、私との賃貸契約に同意してくれる悪徳地主が所有するどんなに安い飲みだらけのアパートにでも今すぐ引っ越す準備ができている。はあ。はい。これで一応安定はしたと。変わらず。変わらず。変わらず。はい。まあ、一応何人か直したからね。ふう。ミッションがアップデート。じゃあ一応ようやく12にはなったけどもだな。果たして12にはなったけどさ、これで強くなってんのかね。全体的な防御力が上がってるわけではないからな。
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned.
まあこんな赤い目してたらそりゃバレるわな。
This is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
何があった？
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution.
もうちょっと下に行かないのか
Is
な。
their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned the dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones.
ハリエット・ジョーンズ。
I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
手伝うよ。
Jonathan, please, I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
はあは
If you don't mind, I have a few questions.
I'd be delighted to help you if I'm able.
あ、そっか。
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened. Lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he
なので
created quite a commotion
一番
would
最
be an
初に
understatement.
助けた男の人だね、ハンプトンって。その人があれか、スカルになっちゃったのかな。
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in. I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the guard of Priwen come to hear of this?
そうだね、どうや
McCullum
って
has
ガードに
spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
なるほど。些細なものであっても食いつくのか。
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
ヴァンパイアだった。
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of
そうだ
menace.
ね、
You
す
need
ご
to
い
be
強そう
careful,
だったね。
Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
私は呪
Is
われ
this
てる。
proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
そうだね。ちょっと後でレディにも聞かないとだ
Who
ね。
was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Priwen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I understand your need for blood and will not get in your way. But if you could refrain from feeding within these walls, it would go a long way to defending your case.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
なるほど。
Thank you, Edgar.
どっちにしてもめんどくさいな。なんかいろいろとあるな。うん。なるほどね。その人、ショーン・ハンプトンを
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
じゃあまた港に戻れってことかな。OK、じゃあちょっと今回ちょうどいいので、今回ここまでにして、次回はこの続きからやっていこうかな。うん。あ、ちょうどいいや。レディにもちょっと話聞いて、今回終わろうかな。うん。うわぁ。血がいっぺいだわ。だからなぜここでフリーズする？ よし、戻ってきた。長いわ、ほんと。レディー、少し話をしてくんないか？
Oh, Jonathan. I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
ありがとう。アスカロンについて知ってることは？
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
巨大だった。
He was bigger than a man, huge in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after
Fergal.
you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
わかりました。
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Have you embraced this woman? Like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
なるほど。
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
なるほど。
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fellow.
さて、はい、ちょっと
Another night. Surely I can endure another night.
ちょっと途中でまたエラーがね、結構ね、ヴァンパイアやってるとね、エラー落ちがすごい激しいのよ。よくわかんないけど。ちょっとまた、引き続きやっていきたいと思いますが、今回はここまでにして、次回この続きからやっていきます。ご視聴いただきましてありがとうございました。また次回の動画でお会いいたしましょう。またね。